Thank you. Thank you. I don't know what's more Houston than a Thai restaurant in between a Spanish soccer jersey store and a Honduran restaurant.
Right.
So when you pulled up to the Long Point Shopping Center, I already knew this was my kind of spot.
Gather round.
Right. Ooh. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are outside the loop. We are off Long Point Road, surprisingly at the Long Point Center, eating today at Ving Thai Restaurant. A recommendation from our artist, Stephen Wilson, said this would be a good place to come eat. And so let's find out why. Let's find out why.
So I kind of knew, I was familiar with Long Point, so then I came out here, Googled it, came out, and then I started using it as my go-to date spot. It was close to where I grew up. It was close to Acres Homes. It was close to where my parents still live now at Acres Homes. And I realized that it was a lot closer to an area of town I was already familiar with. It was in between Montrose and where I grew up, so once I found that out, I came back more regularly. And the food is delicious.
Growing up in Acres Homes, like how did like growing up outside the loop, like, did that like inform your art practice?
I think when I was growing up in Acres Homes, I wouldn't say that I was an artist at that point. I was really into martial arts and karate, so I would draw little instruction books.
Okay.
I had a
Like how to do karate?
yeah, like how to strike a punch and a kick. Or
Who did you make these booklets for?
I would make it for my dad, or I would make it for my karate instructor. His name is Mr. Plummer.
Mr. Plummer.
Yeah. I would hand them out to anybody who would take them, really.
Yeah.
And they were just really scrappy. I think I still have one. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of art in the house. My parents were very practical people. I had a lot of friends going to Lamar whose parents were more into the arts. I took art classes in middle school and high school, where I kind of picked up a little bit here and there. And I remember there was a Basquiat show when I was in high school at Lamar.
At the MFA?
Right, at the MFA.
Yeah.
And we took a field trip there, and I was like,
I think that was the first MFA's mixed media shows.
Those images were really relatable.
Yeah.
And I also remember we had to do a propaganda project for our art history class where we got to make our own propaganda posters.
Oh, cool.
And so that was really cool, and I remember gravitating towards that.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say there was an exact moment when I realized, you're an artist, or you realize that this is what you're going to be.
Yeah.
I'll say that there were multiple moments where you kind of start tying the dots together, and you're like, I keep wanting to represent what I've learned visually. In the artwork, I try not to limit myself with medium or process. But the content or the subjects I'm addressing aren't really imaginative. They're usually tied to something concrete.
Right, okay.
But the way I want to display them, I try to be imaginative about that, or spark some imagination in dealing with some concrete issues.
When did you go from, I guess like that knowing to making like video art? Like, so when did the video aspect come in? Were you just always like tech savvy person?
I was always into tech, but video kind of came in. I had a friend of mine, Camilo, and he started introducing me to these new tools, editing software, and that's kind of when I started gravitating towards editing.
I love how they're watching the French Open in here.
Yeah.
I've been watching it since yesterday. It's just like the only thing on TV, like French Open. The art world doesn't necessarily give the proper respect to that medium.
It's starting to.
Yeah, as compared to the painting.
I mean, there's definitely some preference given to more traditional mediums, but I think that there's a new wave of curators coming in the art world, the art, what I like to call art industrial complex, every day. And they're visiting these studios and they're talking to these artists, and so they're really seeing digital works in a new light. People are collecting video works for the first time, probably more than ever. So
you currently, well, by the time this airs, your show at the Black Chamber will be down, but you have Box 13 in August, and Box 13 is over in East Downtown, I believe, 2nd Ward. What's this OG name?
All those things are true. So I have a show coming up at Box 13. I'll be in the upstairs gallery. Really excited for it. There'll be 2 other artists presenting on the same opening night.
Okay.
I think the opening is August 11th.
Okay.
I really like Box 13. I've wanted to have a show there for a while. And this is a proposal I submitted probably a year and a half ago.
Oh, wow.
So it's been a long time coming.
Yeah. I believe I heard it, and yeah, you had to keep pushing it back for different reasons.
Right. Had to keep pushing it back.
I know this is
How's your rice, man?
It's about as much as I'm gonna eat of this rice.
How's your rice?
It's good. I think I've eaten all the chicken. The best part of
Can you have some more chicken?
The best part of fried rice is just like finding the chicken in it. Who are your influencers? Like, you know, who the OGs are? Like, you know, what interest?
The OGs. Basquiat is kind of a different influence because his style obviously became his own. That like 80s New York street style.
Oh, sure.
And that was.
Thank you, sir.
That was never really an aesthetic. Never really an aesthetic that I gravitated towards. But as far as that it could be done, that a black artist could basically come off the streets.
Right.
He had middle class parents.
But yeah.
Walk into a gallery and get somebody in the art world like New York in the 80s
to be like,
this has value.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's inspiring to me.
For sure.
I don't necessarily want to, adopt his style or anything.
Right. It was that hustle.
But it was that hustle and the fact and that he believed in his work so much.
And he
this
made
boy
so
lived
much
on the streets.
And he made so much of his work.
Right.
He made a lot of work.
You're right. Very prolific.
A lot of work.
He made a lot of stuff. So there's an English artist we've talked about before, Keith Piper. There's a very early multimedia digital artist whose stuff I really like. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And he was kind of ahead of the curve on that one. Adrian Piper, there's Richard Wright, who's an author I really like. My dad, if I can say that.
Your dad.
My grandma.
Your dad and grandma. Was your dad from Acres Homes?
No, my dad's from Louisiana.
Oh, okay.
My dad's from Louisiana. My mom's from West Texas.
Oh, okay.
I also really draw from my friends a lot. I'm kind of in this circle here in Houston where I feel really unique. I know musicians, performers. I know really good craftsmen that can make anything. Designers, industrial designers, graphic designers, visual artists. And
you got a lot of friends.
Just kind of. Well, some of them do more than one thing.
Oh, okay.
No, but yeah, I just try to stay around them and just feed off their energy.
Yeah.
And show them what I'm working on as much as possible, and
Yeah.
kind of just leave myself open to criticism from those people whose work I like and
Yeah.
whose opinions I can trust.
Right.
And it's good here in Houston.
That's one of the fun things about Houston's art world is like it's a lot of people, but it's
Yeah.
like still really small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to open up a gallery, have a show, and have Ving Chai cater.